In the relentless pulse of New York's skyline, where steel spires pierced the heavens like defiant prayers, Victoria Langston commanded the boardroom of Langston Enterprises with the ferocity of a tempest. At 38, she was a vision of unyielding power, ebony hair coiled in a chignon sharp as her wit, emerald eyes that dissected deals and dreams alike, her presence a gravitational force drawing empires into orbit. The media dubbed her the Iron Orchid, a bloom forged in boardroom fires, her rise from a scholarship girl in rain-slicked Chicago alleys to CEO a saga of calculated conquests. Yet behind the glass walls of her corner office, Victoria harbored fractures no quarterly report could quantify. A car accident 5 years prior had left her reliant on a cane for longer days, her left leg a map of scars that whispered of vulnerability she dared not voice. She walked the corporate gauntlet with heels that clicked like gunfire, but each step was a private war, pain her silent co-conspirator. Love, a luxury she'd traded for leverage, her heart armored thicker than her resume. Dates dissolved into mergers, suitors fled before her fire. Loneliness was her shadow, faithful and unseen. The unraveling began on a frost-kissed December eve, the city cloaked in holiday lights that mocked her solitude. Victoria's driver had called in sick, and in a rare lapse of control, she hailed a cab to the annual gala at the Metropolitan Museum, black tie philanthropy where fortunes mingled like vintage wines. The ride was a blur of sleet-smeared windows until a screech of brakes hurled her into chaos. The cab hydroplaned on black ice, slamming into a guardrail. Pain exploded, a white-hot blaze from hip to toe, as her leg twisted unnaturally. The driver, unharmed, babbled apologies, but Victoria bit back a scream, clutching the door like a lifeline. "Just get me out," she gasped, voice a threadbare veil over agony. She emerged into the storm, cane forgotten in the wreckage, one hand braced against the cab's hood. Rain mingled with tears she refused to acknowledge, her gown, midnight silk slashed with silver, clinging like a shroud. The gala loomed blocks away, its golden glow a taunt. She couldn't walk. The leg buckled, sending her crumpling to the curb in a puddle's cold embrace. "Please," she whispered to the indifferent night, "don't hurt me anymore. I can't walk." The words escaped, raw and ragged, a plea from the girl she'd buried beneath titles and triumphs. Horns blared, pedestrians averted eyes, the city's rhythm swallowing her cry. That's when he found her, Ronan Whitaker, 41 and hollowed by quiet tempests. A widowed architect with hands calloused from blueprints and a heart scarred by loss, Ronan's world had contracted to the four walls of his Brooklyn brownstone and the laughter of his 8-year-old son, Finn, a whirlwind of freckles and questions, the last tether to his late wife, Clara, taken by leukemia's cruel theft 2 years past. Loneliness was his draftsman, sketching empty evenings and bedtime stories read solo. He'd been en route to the same gala, a favor to a colleague, his wool overcoat dusted with snow, when the crash's echo drew him from his cab. Spotting the woman on the curb, poised even in ruin, her face a mask cracking under pain, he felt an inexplicable pull, like blueprints aligning in the dark. "Easy now," Ronan murmured, kneeling beside her, his voice a low timbre honed by soothing Finn's nightmares. He shrugged off his coat, draping it over her shivering form, the wool's warmth a fleeting harbor. "I've got you. Breathe with me. In, out. What's your name?" "Victoria," she managed, eyes flashing defiance through the haze. "And if this is pity, spare me." "No pity," he replied, steady as a foundation stone. "Just a man who's carried heavier loads than pride on a bad night." "Ronan, let me help you stand. Or not. Your call." She searched his face, gray eyes steady as slate, feigned laugh lines etched by joys long faded, and something yielded. Not surrender, but alliance. With his arm as anchor, she rose, the world tilting in shards of fire. He hailed his cab, guiding her inside with the gentleness of handling fragile glass. "The gala?" she asked, voice laced with irony as they pulled away. "Skip it. Coffee instead. Or home, if that's the port you need." The cab wove through glittering canyons to a 24-hour diner on the edge of Chelsea, neon signs flickering like hesitant stars. Inside, over steaming mugs of black coffee laced with cinnamon, barriers eroded like frost under sun. Victoria confessed the accident's ghost, how boardrooms blurred her vision with phantom aches, how success's crown weighed like lead. They see the CEO, not the woman who whispers to mirrors that she's enough, she admitted, stirring her cup until it swirled like a maelstrom. Loneliness isn't empty chairs. It's the fear no one will stay for the fractures. Ronan nodded, tracing the mug's rim, his own truths surfacing like tides. Clara called me her builder. Fixed homes, but couldn't mend the one we lost. Finn keeps me afloat, but nights, they're oceans without stars. I walk these streets pretending I'm whole, but you're the first to remind me it's okay to lean. Their words wove a tapestry. Her tales of hostile takeovers laced with Clara's gardens, his sketches of sustainable spires echoing Victoria's hidden sketches of wild irises, resilient blooms from cracked earth. Laughter crept in, tentative, then full, a shared jest about gala small talk versus diners' vinyl booths. As dawn's tentative light filtered through grimy windows, Ronan glanced at his watch. Finn's school run awaits. But this, he paused, hand hovering near hers. This doesn't have to end in steam and goodbyes. Victoria's leg throbbed, a dull anthem, but her heart, long exiled, stirred. Then build with me, Ronan. Not empires, but something real. Fractures and all. Months unfolded like blueprints revised. Victoria's cane became a scepter, not a crutch. She delegated with grace, carving space for vulnerabilities bloom. Ronan introduced Finn, whose wide-eyed wonder at her superhero limp melted reservations. Picnics in Central Park where they traced constellations in clouds, Ronan sketching their faces into home designs that whispered of futures shared. Victoria, in turn, pulled Ronan from isolation's draft, her strength a scaffold for his grief. One spring evening, as cherry blossoms rained petals like confetti, they stood on her terrace, Finn asleep inside, the city a symphony below. You saved me that night, she whispered, leaning into him, no cane needed in his hold. No, Ronan replied, kissing her temple, you reminded me to save myself. We're not whole alone, Victoria. But together, we're unbreakable. In the veil of her unseen strength, the iron orchid discovered not thorns, but roots, entwined with a lonely builder's quiet fortitude. Pain's plea had become love's promise, fierce, flawed, and forever blooming. For in the hush of a diner dawn, a CEO and a father learned that true power lies not in walking unburdened, but in carrying each other home. Thank you for watching this story till the end. Sparkles, if it touched your heart, please support us. Thumbs up, give it a like. Speech balloon, share your thoughts in the comments. Bell, subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. Your support helps us create more stories that inspire and make you believe in miracles. Your participation means a lot to us.